Okay. All right. So, my name is Josh Thacker. I am your state court judge, and as soon as I pull this up here, we'll have this right. There we go. So, this is the Spalding County State Court. Again, I'm Josh Thacker, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, if y'all can just take a look at this PowerPoint, I'm going to go over the most important and boring PowerPoint you've ever heard in your lives. So, just bear with me because the things I'm telling you are important, but there are no cat videos or anything else in here to make it exciting. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we here believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, please don't talk during court. So we are trying to move your case forward efficiently, return you back to your lives quickly. We cannot do that if y'all start having sidebar conversations, and I assume getting out of here quickly is something you all might be interested in. All right, I do have one person virtual. Go ahead and grab your pen and a piece of paper. Wait till I call your name, and while you're waiting, shut off your camera. All right, so earlier, off record, I came out here and asked you all to turn on your phones and log into your DDS accounts. Now I'm going to ask everybody to turn off your phones because at this point, we're going to start moving fast, and when phones start pinging and dinging and chirping, they really slow things down because I get really distracted. So. Lots and lots of movement out there. Thank you all for doing it. All right, so this is a really, is there any spirit court going on today? Yes, okay. So,
Miller's just got a couple of civil things.
Okay, and all right, so there's a lot of court going on here and then obviously down the street with municipal court. So this is the correct courtroom for you. If you were issued a citation by a Georgia State Patrol trooper here in Spalding County, and that citation directed you to appear today in this court, if you got your ticket from a City of Griffin police officer, then you are very likely in the wrong court. And I want you to step out into the hallway and see about showing your paperwork to the bailiff so we can get you to the right court. All right, today is what's called your arraignment day. I'm going to go over your rights with you. I'm going to tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. Now, you may have a trial, and there are two types of trials. There's a jury trial, where 6 jurors issue a verdict on your case from that box over there. And then there's a bench trial where I issue the verdict without a jury. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office if you wish. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And then lastly, you could ask me about an attorney. Lots of logistics today. All right, so the charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. Misdemeanors carry maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. That's where I make the guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you wish to. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right to not incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, I will not allow that silence to be held against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own if you so choose. However, if you wish to have the public defender's office, then I will give you an opportunity to apply today to go to their office and apply with them today. This is your warning, though. If you do not take action ASAP to secure their services, you will hear me say, very likely, that you have waived the right to apply for their services at your next court date. Now, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system. would explain what your charges are to the, what your defenses are to the charges. File motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender conditional discharge. It's my responsibility to explain to you how these work and that they are available to you. They each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. But there's a catch. You only get one of each for your entire life. So, first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, including DUIs. And then conditional discharge is for drug-related offenses only. All right, so now this matters to almost all of you. No-look contender rate. We call this a no-look plea for short. It's where you enter a guilty plea on the traffic charge without admitting guilt. You get one, it's available again on most all traffic charges. You get one no-low every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A no-low will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It will not help you much if you're under 21. Quick show of hands, if you are under 21, raise your hand. Okay, y'all pay attention because I need to know that when I call your names. You're going to need to tell me that again. I'll remind you. All right. Georgia law treats y'all differently than they treat everybody else. All right, if you are here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, so, habeas corpus. This is a weird old law where if you're convicted, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. Again, weird old law. What I really need you to know is you have 6 months from today's date to use your habeas rights, and everybody else has 12 months. All right, you may conference today with the solicitor's office. So if that's what you would like to do, when you hear your name called, you'll announce conference really loud, and you'll then stay here in the courtroom and say your name is called. If you have an attorney, which I do have some attorneys here, they'll very likely announce conference on your behalf. The solicitor's office, this will be the third time I've said this, they are not your attorney. They represent the state of Georgia. If you reach an agreement with the solicitor's office, then we can resolve your case today. If you don't reach an agreement with them, no problem. You waive none of your rights. You simply tell them no thank you. And then they'll hand you off to the bailiffs who will have you sign your paperwork for your next court date and move you right on down the line. All right, now, if you wish to close your payable tickets without a trial, you have 3 options. The first thing I would do is just ask for a conference, walk through those with the solicitor's office if you wish. And so on the far left, on this side, you have that you have the money and you want to pay it, and it's payable. Then you can simply tell the bailiffs and they'll take you downstairs and you can pay your ticket and close it. On the other end of the spectrum, you can enter a guilty plea. We can sentence you and place you on probation, and it'll probably terminate upon completion. Last January, over a year ago, we rolled out what we call our 30 for 30 program, which we did not steal from ESPN. If you wish to be placed on probation, but you don't, if you don't wish to be placed on probation, but you don't have the fine amount and you don't want to go to trial, then you can have a conference with the solicitor's office. They will negotiate plea terms with you. I will accept that plea, but I'll delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And so what that gives you is the ability to say, I had 30 days, I paid off the ticket, I paid $30 for the program fee, and then I did not have probation. And so you see how that works. It delays it after 30 days. If you're unable to close your case, no problem, you're not punished. Your probation just starts. And 9 times out of 10, that is also terminate upon completion probation. So we give you several exit ramps to get your case closed. Okay, if you do receive probation, you'll be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. There will be a one-time $25 intake per case. 100% of all fines may always be worked off with community service work. Again, this is on probation. Additionally, there's a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete your probation. Now, the $50 supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, so for those of you who choose to move your case to a trial calendar, this is what you need to plan for. We will move you to a 2-week trial calendar. And all the jury trials and bench trials will be together on that calendar. In week 1, you will have calendar call where you will come and we will talk about what to do with your case. And then we'll all skip a week in the middle and do some other court while everybody gets ready for trial. And then in week 2, your jury trials and bench trials will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You will appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We use 2 or 3 courtrooms during that week, so we will definitely reach your case for trial. Okay, do you want to help your friends and family? And this actually works really well. This announcement has saved more than a whole lot of people a trip to the jail. So we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So if you even think you recognize a name of someone who has failed to appear in court today, call them, tell them to get down here, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. Generally, every day, somebody wanders in and says, I got a phone call that said, come to court. All right, so we're about to call the calendar. Technically, Ms. Tony's going to call the calendar for me. When you hear your name called, stand up. When y'all just announce, I can't tell who I'm talking to out there. So stand up for me if you're able. If you have an attorney, remain silent and let your attorney announce for you. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to very loudly yell out one of the following. So you're going to either say jury trial, real loud, or bench trial, or conference, or attorney. And those of you who are under 21, who I had you raise your hands, that's when you say, I'm under 21. Because again, Georgia law treats you differently for traffic cases, and I need to know that so that we can move your case forward appropriately. And I have one virtual person, and so that will. All right, Sonny, floor's yours.
Jessica Acosta. Request there to appear. Charity Allen. Conference.
Thank you.
Natasha Allen. Request fair to appear. Sala Altum. Request fair to appear. Shadrach August. Request fair to appear.
May I have that case number?
Yeah, he was, I think on last week's calendar,
Yeah.
he had a bunch of cases that country.
How about this? If we got a bunch of them, let's just make a stack so that we can just all put eyes on it. Because obviously, just like always, before we do it, y'all will look at it, I'll look at it,
Okay,
clerk's office.
I'll look at.
Yeah, I think maybe it's on April time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I know it was just on,
We just-
maybe last week, yeah.
because that name was familiar, so we're on the same page. There's
Okay.
something off.
I'll look.
We'll fix it.
Cameron Beckham.
Conference. Thank you.
Zakoria Berry. Request fair to appear. Shannon Brown.
Conference.
Thank you.
Gabrielle Buffington.
Thank you.
Brittany Callahan. Request fair to appear. Sarah Carter. Request fair to appear. Devontae Clemens. Request fair to appear. Taisha Colton. Conference.
Thank you. And how do you say your first name? Names are important. Taisha. All right. Thank you very much. Names are important. We'll get it right. And by the way, I'm the worst one. That's why Miss Tony's calling me. So I literally will say Smythe, and it's just an I. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah Cook.
Conference.
Thank you.
Garrett Cox. Request fair to appear.
Sure. We are very good at what we do. I told y'all that earlier, and I'm telling you that again. I am the luckiest judge in Georgia. Mr. Shepard is going to go ahead and start the conferences. Do you want to make any other announcements, Mr. Shepard?
Yes, just when your name is called, if you can go out to the double doors over here to my right, your left, meet us in the hallway, and then myself and Ms. Fletcher here will take you down to my office where we'll start our conference, right? So Charity Allen, Cameron Beckham, Shannon Brown, Gabrielle Buffington, Taisha Colton, Isaiah Cook.
All right, and if you're standing and you'd like to grab a seat, go ahead and grab a seat. If you have a question, you can talk to the bailiffs. They're very good at what they do. But again, if somebody's standing and they want to sit down, but frankly, if you sit all day like me, you might just want to be standing. All right.
Kareem Crawford.
Thank you.
Jared Culberson. Request fair to appear. Kevin Emery. failure to appear.
Oh, hold on, he's virtual, he's great, I'll come back to him when we finish calling. You know, put it in the conference call.
Chastity Emmons,
Conference.
Anna Flanagan. Request failure to appear. Gregory Flint. Request failure to appear. Katira Fuller. Lacaria Fulton. Request failure to appear. Stephanie Garland.
Thank you.
Caitlin Goggins. Request failure to appear. Jemiah Harps.
Conference.
Thank you.
Mator Harrison.
Jury trial. Do you want to, actually, I need to check that. I'm not certain those qualify for jury trial. Give me just a minute on that. I'm not sure you qualify for jury trial, but I'll need to check. I'll need that ticket later.
Yes.
Desiree Hastings. Request failure to appear. Carmen Hodges.
Conference.
Thank you.
Katrina Honerman. Request failure to appear.
I'm actually gonna do a warrant on that one. It's, were they
Yes,
arrested?
for suspense.
And on Miss Harrison, what I'm gonna do, Miss Harrison, do you wanna talk to the public defender's office?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually have you step out in the hallway. I'm gonna actually let you sign a jury trial reset. We will explore that question at our next court date and we'll figure it out then. Because if you have I realize you probably wanna talk to the public defender's office and they'll help me sort that out.
Okay.
So it's gonna work for both of us. So please have a seat in the hallway and wait for the bailiffs. Don't leave till they talk to you. Yes. Give me just a second. All right, as y'all can see, I spent a lot of plates up here. All right, where's yours?
Aisha Holloway. Request failure to appear. Thaddeus Hood. Request failure to appear. Brandon House.
Conference.
Thank you.
Jonna Hunter. Request failure to appear. Raynette Isifu.
Conference.
How do you say your last name?
Isifu, Your Honor.
Names are important. Thank you very much.
Candace Jenkins. Request failure to appear. Albert Jones. Request bench warrant.
Good.
Nabeha Kamal.
Thank you.
Markevius King. Request failure to appear. Jarrell Kiernan. Request failure to appear. Johnny Lay.
Good morning, Sarah Kelly on behalf of Mr. Lay, conference, please.
Welcome. Thank you. And I'm going to have you come on up in the jury box so that we can remember that this is an attorney case. And so, give me just a second, Ms. Tony. If you'll come on.
East McLaren. Conference.
Thank you.
Edward Medina. Request failure to appear. Alicia Medrano.
Under 21.
Okay. And you want to do a conference?
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Almeen Moody. Request failure to appear. Precious Moore. Request failure to appear. Brianna Morgan. I
Oh,
saw
she
her.
just stepped out.
Yeah.
Let's put it out for conference.
She reset.
Oh, she reset. Okay. Reset.
Oh, it's reset. Okay.
Like I said, there's a lot moving and we got a lot of things moving with that, as y'all are aware.
Jamise Morton. Request failure to appear. Jessica Naranjo. Request failure to appear. Ruben Odom. Request failure to appear. Rico Parks. Request failure to appear. Savannah Peak. Request failure to appear. Ormond Fall.
Conference.
Thank you.
Jalen Piercy.
Jury trial. All right, you want to talk to the public defender's office?
No.
All right, are you waiving the right to apply with the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right, you still have the right to hire your own attorney, but I'm gonna put down that you've waived to apply with the public defender's office. You want a jury trial, you may step out into the hallway, have a seat on the benches out there, and do not leave until the bailiffs come speak. And Mr. Emery, when we come back to it, has messaged me that he wants a conference and his phone number, so we'll give you that in a minute.
Ganasha Pope. Request failure to appear. Brenda Powell. Request failure to appear. Darla Powell. Request failure to appear. Madeline Priest.
Conference.
Okay, your team is ready, Ms. Tony, to call the next round.
Okay, we'll get, you and your client, so, Mr. Lay, if you will go through those double doors, they'll meet you in the hallway. So we got that, just, I got her name. Kareem Crawford,
Sorry, it's Margaret's phone.
there's,
So sorry.
Chastity Emmons, Katira Fuller, Stephanie Garland, and Jemiah Hartz.
And here's Emery's. Alright, so Emery's number.
Oh, is it in the virtual?
Yeah.
Here, you can
I'm
put it on
gonna
this
just
one.
it's 954-803-6364. Did I write that down right?
Yes.
We all know that number's next to me. Okay, so move on to comments.
Thank you.
Mr. Emery, you messaged me that information. If that is incorrect, stay on the line. If the information I've just announced is correct, you can remove yourself from the video conference system and just wait for your phone to ring.
Thank you.
Venetia Price. Conference. Justin Reed. Request failure to appear. Dexter Revere.
Thank you.
Jaden Roberts. Request failure to appear. Carl Shaneman.
Conference. Thank you.
Justin Shaw.
Crawford. Thank you.
John Smith.
Conference.
Thank you.
Abdel Soliman. Request failure to appear. Antonio Stalls. Request failure to appear. Amanda Taylor,
Conference.
Thank you.
Donald Taylor. Request mayor to appear. Jasmine Telefort. Jasmine Telefort Moran. Request mayor to appear. Brittany Thomas. Request mayor to appear. Courtney Thomas.
Conference judge.
All right, he has two cases, two separate cases. All right, perfect. You already have two cases?
I'm not.
You're not?
Nope.
So it would be two separate cases from two different events. One being 22 TK 4788, which is driving with no license on person and illegal window tint. Your second case is 23 TK 5837, which is seatbelt violation and driving on a suspended license. I literally just told you every bit of information I know about both of your cases, but when you have your conference, they will discuss both of your cases. Thank you.
Stephanie Walzak. Request mayor to appear. DeAndre Wallace. Request mayor to appear. D'Amica Wallace.
Conference.
Conference, thank you. And sorry about the column.
Jaquita Washington. Request mayor to appear. Brianna Weems. Request mayor to appear. Aubrey Wheeler.
Jury trial.
All right. And do you want to talk to the Public Affairs Office?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so if you'll step out into the hallway, please. Have a seat on the benches out there. Do not leave until the bailiffs come give you your next set of instructions, which will include information for contacting the Public Affairs Office. Thank you.
Kareen White. Request mayor to appear. Trelina Whitmire. Request mayor to appear. Kayla Zong.
Thank you. They should have warned me last week. All right, so hands down, everybody. This is not my first court date. All right, so a couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. If you are here this morning and your name was not called, stand up for me. I know there's a couple of 130s who are here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way across. This is about the number I expected, and I'm going to start in the back. Ma'am, nice and loud and slow. What is your full name?
Beyonce Hightower.
Hightower. And Miss Hightower, first thing we're going to do is check this afternoon's case. What are you charged with? Do you have your tickets with you by any chance?
No. No, I do not.
I see her.
And I didn't see it on yesterday.
All right, give me just 1 second. I'm going to pull this up and we'll search. And spell your first name for me again, please.
VEONTE.
It's 23 TK 5302.
23 TK 5302. Thank you. All right, what would you like to do with your case, ma'am? Conference? Thank you very much. The clerk's office found the case. They're very good at that. So they have the unenviable task of keeping me organized, which deserves hazard pay. So, all right, thank you very much. You may grab a seat. Sir, nice and loud. What is your name?
Oh, Lester Williams.
Williams.
Yes, sir.
And what are you charged with, Mr. Williams?
DUI, no seatbelt, and driving too close.
Okay, so tell me your first name again.
Lester.
Lester. So you're probably not on this calendar. Do you have your tickets with you by any chance?
Yes, I am, Chief.
Excellent. Here, hold on, sit tight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you show those tickets to the bailiff. I wanna know if you were assigned a court date today. If you were, I'm gonna email the officer directly and say, stop doing that, and I'm very sorry, but the bailiffs will sort that out with you in just a minute, okay? See Mr. John over there, that's who you're gonna talk to. You can go ahead and go and talk to him. Sir, nice and loud, what's your name?
Daniel Bell, Bell.
All right, Mr. Bell, what are you charged with?
Failure to maintain.
Okay,
It's Keith, is it Keith Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
It's on page 1 of this afternoon.
okay. And what do you want to do with your case?
Cause it's from my stuff in the court, but I was wanting to pay it. But it was just like, I need until next, 2 days from now, I get paid again.
Okay, then, that's our 30 for 30 program is what you're describing, so I'm gonna put you down for a conference. And if that works for you, then we'll close it out that way, okay? All right, so thank you very much, grab a seat. I assume y'all are okay with me. Okay, just making sure. Nice and loud, what's your name?
Anthony, Tyrone Wilson.
Tyrone Wilson?
Yes.
Sorry, this afternoon's coming. Yep, there it is. All right, 23 TK 4788 on this afternoon's calendar. What would you like to do with your case? Conference. All right. So technically, y'all are just very, very early for court, but the solicitor's office, this afternoon's court is bigger than this one, so this is okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can grab a seat or stand as you prefer.
Yes, sir.
Nice and loud. What's your name?
Eduardo, Brian Sanchez.
Sanchez. What was the first part of your last name?
Moran.
Moran? Okay. All right, let's see, Sanchez. Let's go back to Moran. What are you charged with?
Speed.
Yeah. See neither. You have your tickets with you?
No, sir.
Tell me your first name again.
Eduardo.
There he is. Oh, he's got a bunch going on. He's got 23 SR 1516. He also has, that has not been set an arraignment date, so that's officially on now for today as of this moment.
Okay.
Then he also has 24 TK 0098, which is not set to be here till May, but he's here now. And so I'm gonna go ahead and officially deal with both of those. You want a conference?
Conference.
Okay. The other case, although it's an SR, is a driving case.
And you can do the SR number?
Yeah, so it's 23 SR 1516, and it's all driving offenses.
Okay.
Driving without a valid license, brake light, license restriction, no license on person, and tail light. Okay, grab a seat. What's your name, nice and loud?
Jeffrey Downey.
Thank you.
What are you charged with, Mr. Downey?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm only from top of the lane change.
There we are. 23 TK 2710. Okay, you're a walk-in. This case is currently in bench warrant status. It's a failure to maintain lane with an accident.
Jeffrey Downey?
Oh no, they lifted it. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
There's two failure to appears, and I just went to the second one and assumed it was
Okay.
lifted. So
We got it right.
yeah, then
Okay.
this is great. Grab a seat. So, okay. So your case is in hand. All right. Anybody else who is not addressed? Perfect. So if y'all want, y'all can go ahead and step out and make the announcements. You have Mr. Emery's information. And Judge, and just to remind everybody, Judge Essery is here today to sign the non-court documents like non-process. And so he's gonna be sitting back in my office.
Okay, so for dismissals and all that?
Yeah, anything that doesn't need a court date, because that will be quicker for y'all, it's quicker for them, so.
Mr. Shaw's plans.
So, a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to move everything back to where we are. So those of you who are still here are waiting for your conferences. A couple of you are waiting for some odds and ends otherwise. I'm just going to say this directly because there's no other way to say it. One of you, statistically speaking, is going to volunteer to go to jail today. So let me say that again. One of you, on a statistical level, is going to volunteer to go to jail today. And how's that going to happen? So here's the instructions I'm about to give you. I'm going to give you a preview of the instructions. You ready? Hey, we're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom. Get back to your seats. That's the extent of the instructions I'm about to give you. We're all here. We're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom and immediately get back to your seats. But one of you, for reasons I still don't understand, is going to wander off and not come back. It happens almost every day. I don't understand why. Everyone says that maybe it's me giving these instructions, telling people not to wander off, that makes people think that maybe somebody should go get their lawn mowed or an oil change or a haircut or whatever it is that people do when they wander off. But what happens is once you do that, and I did it, happened yesterday, I'm going to sign a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to hold you without bond because you clearly can't be trusted to stay. And then I'm going to go see you out in the jail in a couple weeks. So that's my solution to the problem. And the fact that it's a problem should tell you that it's a problem, that I have to create a solution for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Mr. Shaw's plea, and then I'm going to give you all a couple more directions, and then I'm going to put us in recess. So if you would like to come up to the podium, I would like you all to watch this because this is a plea that will look very much like any plea that y'all might do if you choose to today. Probation is here. Great. Okay, then this will work out. You can come on up, sir, to the podium. All right. Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Okay. All right, state your full name for me, please.
Aiden Matthew Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Davis, you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
Your Honor.
All right. Are you under 21?
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
20 years old, Your Honor.
All right. Are you here with your dad?
Yes.
If you want to come stand up here, you're welcome. You don't have to, but you're certainly welcome to. All right. So let's go forward and talk about this document. Your attorney, Mr. Shaw, has given me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, lean that mic just a little bit.
So sorry.
That's okay. And again, we're making the record here to protect you, not me. So, all right. So, Mr. Davis, have you had all the time that you need to speak with Mr. Shaw about all aspects of your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney has done on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Shaw, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis for me to take this reduced plea of guilty for 78 and 55 from January 13th, 2024 here in Spalding County?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Davis, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that reduced charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Davis, what this is going to do is I can see that the state has reduced it to put you on the knife edge of losing your license. That's a program that the solicitors has rolled out that I think is frankly a pretty good idea, because if you go and drive safely and drive normally from this point forward and do not receive any additional citations, you get to keep your license. If you go and you catch another ticket, then you're going to lose your license. So you hold the keys to your future in your hand. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, perfect. All right, Mr. Davis. This otherwise looks great. So I'm going to find, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's paired up with your attorney's stipulation, there's enough for me to take the plea, find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving rights, and to follow the recommendation. Mr. Shaw, the floor is yours if you would like it.
Yes, sir. We had stipulated that he'll sign it in with probation, but probation will be terminated on completion of a defensive driving course, which he's already done. I've already provided that document to Ms. Tony.
All right, so that means that you will meet with probation twice. You'll meet with them right, so the sentence enforcement team will meet with you right after here. They'll have you come to your first report date, and then that should be your last report date. So, so you'll end up touching base with the sentence enforcement team twice.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Davis, do you have any questions for me about anything? All right, and Dad, I always bring the parents up. Do you have any questions or anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and I didn't catch your name, I'm sorry.
David Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, thank you. All right, Aiden Davis, 24 TK 0214, count 1 speeding, 78 to 55, you finds you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $750 is your fine. You may work off that fine with community service work if you wish. You need to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, so you should only have to do one of those. And a $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current case, if any. And this case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. When you come to your first report date, make certain that you bring a copy of that certificate of completion for your defensive driving school, as well as the total that they give you, and that should close your case. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, Margaret, he did not get to meet with sentence enforcement before the plea like normal, so he hasn't done any of the sign-up stuff, so he's got to start first. Ms. Shaw, anything else?
No, sir. May I be excused?
All right, yes, you may. Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Dad? All right, all right, let's step through those double doors back there. And Judge Baxter is here. Okay, now I gotta do that one. We understand that you just got a call that your child is sick and you need to go.
Yes.
Do you, your call, you tell us, do you want to just do the plea real quick and head out, or do you want to just sign a reset and get out?
The police.
The plea, okay, well, let's go ahead and do that then. All right, so I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your head down, state your full name for me.
Chastity Brooke Emmons.
All right, thank you. And everybody take a moment, turn your phones off now that we're back in session, please. So everybody check your phones and make sure they're off. Ms. Evans, you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights and read out to the courtroom? And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, and grab that boom mic and confidently pull it down to you. There you go. We're getting a new one. It's just not here yet. That was the best bad option we got. Okay, Ms. Evans, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on November 2nd of 2023 and resulted in this charge of operating a motor vehicle on a suspended license?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that was a yes. So I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Emmons, on 23 TK 5327, count 1, suspended license, I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Show your valid license. To sentence enforcement, $50 a month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and your case can close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You'll also need to complete a defensive driving course and show that proof of completion to sentence enforcement. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, do you have any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, I hope your child makes a speedy and full recovery.
Thank you so much.
Well, parent, I'm there with you on that. John's gonna walk you out, and if you'll make sure to tell the sentence enforcement team that she has an emergency. So, all right.
Thank you so
step
much.
out there. Thank you. All right, Cameron Beckham, please step forward. All right, Mr. Beckham. Yeah, we're gonna do one of those coming. All right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Cameron Decker.
Mr. Beckham, you're here today on 24 TK 0313. And according to my calendar, you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Beckham, you passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials here next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that is on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beckham, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go off record. Ms. Middleton, the floor is yours.
Can I please see the following people through those double doors? Daniel Bell, Anthony Wilson, Jeffrey Downey, Beyonce Hightower, Eduardo Morales Sanchez, and Timothy Walkie. Thank you.
No problem.
And that should be it.
That's all.
That should be it.
Anybody else here waiting for a conference and their name was not called? Okay. Sorry, Christine.
All right, can I call you?
She's already. Yeah, she's already here. Okay, then I'll take them up here. Because all I gotta do is just ask you, have you used to know about last 5 years? 20 minutes. All right. All right, back on record with Mr. Backham. Mr. Backham, let me look at something real quick. I have a question for you, please. Give me just- Okay. All right, so, I was worried this was one of those fine-only charges, but I was mistaken. So this sentence agreement works perfectly. So, all right, so Mr. Beckham, back on the record fully with you. Did you, here in Spalding County, back on January 15th of 2024, operate your motor vehicle while holding your phone and operating it? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea to texting while driving. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights during this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as it's been negotiated. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, you ready? All right. Mr. Beckham, on 24 TK 0313, texting while driving, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $100 is your fine. I don't believe there's any add-ons to that. That's correct. So it's $100 even. Count 2 is dismissed. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days, which will give you 30 days, and if you pay $30 plus your fine in full, so $130 will close your case with no probation conditions. After 30 days, if you're unsuccessful in closing your case, your probation begins automatically, at which point you will need to show a valid license to sentence enforcement, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, have a Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and then your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to use this, appeal this decision, and you have 6 months if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before we go over this?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Margaret's gonna walk you
John
out,
Smith?
out those double doors. All right, I'm about to do a series of pleas on cases where individuals are requesting a no-load plea and have indicated that they're able to pay the fine in full. Those pleas go very, very fast. Can I please have Kareem Crawford? You just want me to have him wait out? Okay.
He could sound.
Justin Shaw?
No, come on up here. I just need to ask you a couple of quick questions on the record. That's it. This is very quick. All right, state your full name for me.
Kareem Crawford.
All right, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. You're here on 23 TK 3281, and very, very short. Have you used a no-low on anything in the last 5 years?
No.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And are you asking me to accept a no-load plea for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on July 13th, 2023, and results in this charge of speeding, 83 and a 55?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I need. So because you have the fine in full, I don't need to go through all the rest of the rights because I will not be placing you on probation. you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, so if you'll step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs, don't leave until they come get you, because they're gonna come
I
get
got
all
two boys.
Buffington. Okay, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your full name?
Gabrielle Buffington.
Miss Buffington, are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on January 1st, 2024, and resulted in this charge of operating motor vehicle on a canceled registration?
Yes, sir.
All right, and all right, do you have any questions for me before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, if you will please wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs. They'll take you downstairs to make your payment in full. Close your case. All right, next NOLO plea is Priest, Madeline Priest. All right, please state your full name.
Madeline Wynn, please.
All right, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And Miss Priest, are you able to pay your fine in full today?
Yes, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on January 23rd, 2024, and resulted in this charge of following too closely with an accident?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to grant you NOLO. I do not need to go through the rest of the rights with you because I will not be placing you on probation. Do you have any questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right. And James, I'm not entirely certain I caught all the signatures on those first two. I was thinking about too many things, so I need some more of those signatures. Let me try to get it up. So there should be two signatures on each. Thank you. So it should be the ticket and the rights. See, Susan, I'm all about customer service. We'll have to check these later. So, oh, yeah, it's on this real. Lines are up. So. Do I have anybody else that's in that number? All right, if you'll step out in the hallway, ma'am, and wait for the back. Is that everybody?
That's all.
All right, so we're gonna pivot back to the regular pleas. May I please have Shannon Brown step forward? All right. If you will, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Shannon Brown.
Ms. Brown, you're here on 23 TK 2660. You were on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom? And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights? Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that it's the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
These are your initials next to each of the lines on page 1.
Yes, sir.
Page 2,
Yes, sir.
is that your signature?
Yes, yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, I have.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
You're here today without an attorney. Do you wish to represent yourself in this case?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Brown, have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County and results in this charge of operating a motor vehicle on a suspended registration?
Yes.
All right, and that's from June 8th, 2023. Okay, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it exactly the way you've negotiated. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before I send this?
No, sir.
You ready? Yes. Okay. Shannon Brown on 23 TK 2660, count 1, suspended registration, NOLO, 12 months, 445 as your fine. I am going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from today, if you are unsuccessful in closing your case, then your probation will begin, at which point you may work off your fine with community service work if you wish, but you will be required to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, to have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, to be tested for those, Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, and a $25 intake fee. And your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to court. And again, that part is only if you make it that far. Hopefully you'll get it closed.
It will be.
So we've been really pleased with this. We saw it in the Griffin Municipal Court. It's kind of a different version, but it's one of the very few moments that the court has done something that's made everybody happy. Usually, if everybody's an appropriate amount of unhappy with me, that usually tells me I've done my job well. But this is one of those ones where the defendants are happy because they can pay their stuff and not be on probation. We're happy because obviously I don't want you on probation. I just want to be able to move your case and get you out of here. So anyway, you didn't want my soapbox, but I'm just telling you.
Nope, you're right.
Thank you very much.
you.
You have a good day.
Okay, you as well.
All right. All right, Isaiah Cook. All right, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Sure.
All right, take your notes, say your full name for me.
Isaiah Cook.
All right, and Mr. Cook, you are here today on 23 TK 5531, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Okay. You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials here next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
And as well as page 2?
Yes, sir.
Now, you initially, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's just a clerical error. I'm going to correct that real quick. We're going to keep going. All right, so is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document?
Yes, sir.
All the time you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do with your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you 21 years of age or older?
I'm older.
And have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
Is it anyone that you can check or?
No, I cannot check. That's why we have you run your driver's history.
I'm
So here's how this works.
okay.
If you are not sure,
I'm not sure.
that's fine. You're not the first person to stand here to be not sure.
Okay.
Here's the way this is going to work. You ready?
Mhm.
And everybody else listen up, because if this is you, this is how we're going to do it with you as well. If you're not sure, I'm going to grant it,
Okay.
because I'm not the final decision maker on whether you qualify.
Okay.
We're going to send it in to the Department of Driver Services within 48 hours. If they get it and they find that you've already used a NOLO on a registration charge, because I don't do this much, but there are actually 5 different NOLO pleas. And I don't go into all those details because it confuses everybody. But registration is one of those 5. If you have not used it in the last 5 years, they will take it and give it to you. If you have used it in the last 5 years, on a registration charge. When they receive it, they will ping it and go, nope, he's already used it. They will accept it as a guilty plea. You don't come back and see me. We don't talk about it. If you file a motion to withdraw your plea because your license got suspended, I'm gonna shrug my shoulders and go, hey, I'm sorry, we talked about that at length, and that was your risk to take, and I was willing to go with you. But at the end of the day, it's your risk to take. Now, that's a long explanation, but does that help you understand your risks and rewards in this moment? With that said, do you want to go forward with the plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go forward with the plea, and I'm gonna find that because you're not certain, I'm gonna grant it, knowing that the Department of Driver Services will know for certain whether you have or haven't. And if this does result in a guilty plea, from their perspective, it will cause a suspension of your license. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that's your risk to take.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're good to go then. All right, so, are you asking me to accept this no-load plea for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on November 7th of 2023 and resulted in this suspended registration charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that your request for a no-load is proper, given obviously the extensive discussion we just had. I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation. I'll follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Isaiah Cook on 23 TK 5531, count 1, suspended registration. I'm gonna grant your no-load. It's 12 months probation, $445 is your fine. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days. It'll allow you to enter our 30 by 30 program, at which point, if you're successful in paying your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation. Even if it results in a suspended license, it'll still close with no probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
31 days from now, if you do not close your case, you may then, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work. Oh, I missed it. Count 2 is dismissed. But you will be required, if you make it that far, to show sentence enforcement team your valid license, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today if you would like to use those habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
How much would I have to pay?
They will give you the total there.
Okay.
Every time I try to do it from the bench, I mess it up. So, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but they'll give you the total here in just a minute. All right. Fuller? All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, thank you, and done. State your full name for me.
Sarah Fuller.
All right, and Ms. Fuller, you were here on 24 TK 0328. According to my calendar, you were on time for court. Did you get the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
I did.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions about anything on here, no matter how minor, that I can answer for you?
No.
All right. Ms. Fuller, you are here. Do you understand from this document as well as from my announcements that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Fuller, you, all right, this works. All right, Ms. Fuller, you are here in Spalding County back on January 10th, 2024, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 69 miles an hour, a reduced speed of 69 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to the reduced speed. There's enough for me to take the plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways? I mean,
No.
before I sentence? No? Okay. Ms. Fuller, on 24 TK 0328, count 1, speeding 69 to 55, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 195 is your fine. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days for you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. So if you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation conditions. If you're unsuccessful in closing your case within 31 days from now, your probation will begin automatically, at which point, if you wish, you may work off your fine with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. This is terminated, and it will still terminate the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. If 30 days from today, if you wish to appeal this decision, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
I don't.
All right, Mr. Taylor's gonna walk you out those double doors and pass you off to the sentence enforcement team. Thank you. All right, next case, McLaurin. Good morning.
Thank you.
And like I said, we got a new one of those coming. It's just not here yet. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Shanice LaQuaid McLaren.
And Ms. McLaren, you're here on 24 TK 0377. According to my calendar, you are on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
I did. Thank you.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
That is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
I did.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McLaurin, you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
I do.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. McLaurin, you are charged with 1 count of operating a motor vehicle in a manner that was too fast for the conditions of the road here in Spalding County on January 17th of 2024. Did you do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna find with the reduced charge of too fast for the conditions of the road and your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it as negotiated. Do you have any questions for me before I sentence?
No, Your Honor.
You ready?
I am.
All right, Ms. McLaurin, on 24 TK 0377 from January 17th of 2024, count 1, too fast for conditions, guilty, 12 months, 158 is your fine. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days, and I'll give you 30 days to pay $30 program fee plus 158 to close your case with no probation.
Okay.
If you're unsuccessful, then your probation will begin automatically 31 days from now, at which point you may, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement team. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, and a $25 intake fee. And your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. If 30 days from today, if you wish to appeal this decision, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, Miss Margaret Yeller is gonna walk you out those double doors.
Thank you.
Ladrano,
I'll come this way.
you go that way.
Okay, thank you.
Ever since that chucklehead jumped over the bench in Vegas, they don't let him go that. So, although you have to be a pretty good jumper to get over these things. All right, you are Alicia Ladrano.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Madrano, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I swear.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Alicia Medrano.
All right, and Ms. Madrano, you're under 21, is that correct?
Correct.
How old are you?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 in 12 days.
And how many days?
12.
So, this is your call. I don't have a preference here. The solicitor's office has reduced your speed to an amount that will not cause a suspension of your license, but it will still go in as an under 21 conviction. If you were to wait, and I would just honestly move you to the next calendar, or wherever the clerk would put you, that's more than 12 days out, and you were to take this plea when you're over 21, then there'd be zero chances of this causing a suspension of your license without, frankly, significant other charges that I'm not aware of. Do you have other cases pending or other tickets that you've been convicted of in the last 3 years?
I do not.
So, again, there's no reason you can't do this plea today. It's just one of those things of, this is probably going to be okay, but 13 days from now, it'll definitely be okay. So, you know those commercials where the guy says, am I going to survive this fall? And he's like, oh yeah, probably. That's the kind of thing where I'm saying, so if you want to go forward with this today, I'm happy to do it. It is probably going to be okay, but that's just DDS's call to make. So, do you have any questions about what I'm saying?
If it's better for me to wait until the next calendar date, I would prefer to do that. Just,
Y'all have one that you have a date we could move her to 13 days or more out so that she could play when she's 21. We just move her to the next one, wherever.
Yeah, so we moved to our next one, or on a Thursday.
Hey, let's do that. Let's just have her walk in on a Thursday. And what I'll do is I've already got another plea that's gonna walk in here. I'll literally just tuck her paperwork underneath the basket here. If y'all want it back, you're welcome to it. But she's already filled out and everything. Y'all want it back?
I can put it in the basket.
Okay. All right. Go wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs. We're gonna bring you in on a Thursday. Your paperwork is ready. I'll just have you come in. We'll just do the plea at that time. And again, you could probably do the plea today, but when you're this close, and I don't know if you quite get that the laws literally move y'all into two totally separate directions, and we're always having to be very cognizant of that. And frankly, 12 days to me just seems like something we should just take a breather and come back to it. So, all right, if you'll head back that way, wait over by the light switch for the bailiff. We'll see you on Thursday here in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, that was Alicia Madrano, reset to plea after. All right, next case. Paul. And that's PHAL. Tell me how to pronounce your first name.
Ramondi. Ramondi.
Ramondi?
Yeah.
Ramondi, okay. All right, and Ben, you can come up and stand. All right, state your full name for me.
Ramondi Paul.
All right, Ms. Paul, you are here on 23 TK 5826. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I swear.
All right, how old are you?
22.
Okay. All right, Ms. Paul, and just for record purposes, is this,
My mom.
that's your mom? Okay, I assumed as much, but I waved her up. She was here with you. All right, so let's talk about your case.
Mm-hmm.
You were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you hear the rights read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Paul, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights are read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2?
Mhm.
And is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign an initial in this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about your charge. You're 22, you said?
Yes.
Have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on December 11th, 2023,
Yes.
and resulted in this charge of operating a motor vehicle with no insurance?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Ms. Paul, on 23 TK 5826, count 1, no proof of insurance, NOLO is granted. It's 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And this will allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program where you pay fine in full plus $30 within 30 days. And your case will close with no probation conditions.
Okay.
31 days from now, if your case is still open, then your probation will begin automatically. I forgot to say earlier that count 2 is dismissed as a result of this plea. Now, if you get to 31 days out, then you can, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work. You may then, but you will be required to show a valid license to the probation office, to the sentence enforcement team. Have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This runs consecutive to any current sentence, if any. And it'll still terminate the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. So even if you make it that far, you can still close it very quickly. But we're very proud of this program. Most folks don't make it that far. So you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Thank you, yeah.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Any questions?
He can pay all today?
So, maybe I don't know if the probation is set up to do that, but they'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
And I didn't catch your name, ma'am.
Chan?
Chan?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then last name is Paul. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Y'all will go with Mr. Taylor. All right. Mr. Wallace. Yeah, it's here. That microphone is for short folks like us and taller folks like a lot of tall people who are here today. So, all right, Ms. Wallace, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name.
D'Amico Shakira Wallace.
Okay. Ms. Wallace, you're here on 24 TK 0366, and according to my calendar, you're on time for court. Did you hear the rights are read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Ms. Wallace, you, wait a minute. No, I did that wrong, sorry. That was all correct. I had a DeAndre Wallace who was not here, so, all right, you are D'Amico Wallace. Ms. Wallace, you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes.
and because you understood everything that is on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's pivot to your facts. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
Okay, we're in that together too. So, I keep telling everybody I'm not 18 anymore, but the more I say that, the farther that back is backwards. So, Ms. Wallace, do you understand? Are you asking me, have you used a NOLO on any charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept the NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County back on January 9th, 2024 and resulted in this passing in a no passing zone with an accident?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to grant your NOLO. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently entering this plea and waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it as negotiated. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Ms. Wallace, on 24 TK 0366, count 1, passing in a no passing zone, NOLO, 12 months, 306 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days, which will let you participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close in the next 30 days. 31 days from now, your probation will begin automatically, at which point you may, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work. You will need to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Wallace. If you will step out those double doors with the bailiffs, they'll take care of it. All right, Beal, Daniel Beal. Oh, actually, does he need, you told to type, remember, does he need? Okay, I'm actually going to, this gentleman here, I've already talked to him, I've already told him that he's gonna be arraigned on these 2 cases today. So he just needs to sign one consent for both cases. And he wants the public defender's office, so obviously just. But I've already told him that I'm arraigning both of those, so I don't need to go back on that. That was confusing, I agree. So, you're very welcome. All right, is it Beal?
Yes, sir.
This Beal, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your head down, state your full name for me.
Daniel Keith Bell.
All right, Ms. Bell, you are here on 23 TK 5658, and I believe it's on the afternoon calendar.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. So, perfect. And there you are. And so you were very, very early for court today at 9 o'clock when I sat down. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bell, you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you read on there as well as hear me say that you have the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
And you, is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you know why your ticket, I just saw something on here. Do you know why your ticket says DUI in the bottom left corner?
I never heard anything about that.
That's fine. I'm just gonna look it up and make sure.
Yeah, I don't have no DUIs.
They do that, I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had a DUI. I don't know.
Daniel Keith Beal,
Yes, sir.
what's your birthday?
10/23/80.
what it's worth, it's two names are reversed on the calendar.
Oh, they are?
I mean, it says Keith Daniel on the,
Oh, it sure does.
I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the.
that is worth a lot,
issue.
because that's, you gotta fix that.
I mean, if it's not the same.
Yeah, what if it is?
So you already talked about it.
Yes, I've already told you that I was ringing him, so all you need to do is sign a reset and sending him to the, public entertainment. Let's deal with 22 SR 1324.
They said it was fair to maintain it. I went and popped on the side of the road. I thought I had some damage on my front right tire. I had a spare tire on it. And then it kept rolling until it went flat. And it was the noise stopped and I just kept going. And I got pulled up by the police and that's basically what it ended up being. As far as DUI, I've never had one.
So you have another pending case with me, 22 SR 1324. It is not a DUI. It is a battery family violence. Interestingly, it doesn't have a court date. You're represented by Dwayne Singleton's office.
Yeah, they were supposed to get they sent it where they had it changed or modified where me and her are allowed to be around each other for the kids and whatnot, and like they would never get in trouble. And there wasn't like no physical violence. They actually gave me a packet a couple months ago because I got pulled over by the police, and he told me the situation said it hadn't been changed in their computer system, and I had to tell Dwayne Singleton about it, and then he did whatever he did and got the papers correct.
All right, you're not in trouble. You just have too many moving parts, and I'm not going to take this plea today. Susan, let's have him sign a reset notice for an arraignment date and put both of these cases on any bonded arraignment calendar of your choosing. And then we'll have him sign it for both. That'll put both cases on the same pathway. Because I can't arraign him today because he's represented by Dwayne's office. And that'll give him.
What's his case number?
So his two case numbers are, this case is 23 TK 5658. But the case we need to deal with is 22 SR 1324. So I'm just going to put both of those together, put them on a bonded arraignment calendar.
22 SR what?
1324.
Because he said that they have it modified where basically we would be around each other and everything else. And then he gave me an envelope with a paper. He said it takes a while for him to put it in the system, but he said just keep the paperwork on me if I get pulled over or one together. That way I can show it to the officers. And that's as far as I know.
Okay, that sounds fine. Mr. Shepherd, just what happened is just it turned out he had another case that had not been set for arraignment yet, but he's represented on that case by Dwayne Singleton's office. So I got very concerned about, is he on
Yeah, I have no
this
idea.
one as well? No, that's okay, pop it. So, you're not in any trouble whatsoever. It's just my responsibility to make certain that we do this very slowly and carefully. So, okay, so you're gonna step out in the hallway, you're gonna sign a reset notice for both cases for an arraignment date coming up. You're gonna go straight to Dwayne Singleton's office from here today and hand them a copy of that. Do you understand that?
Copy of
The reset notice you're about to sign.
uh,
All right, so you promise me you're gonna go straight to their office and hand that to them and let them make a copy of it?
I already said I talked to him on the phone.
I want you to go to their
Yeah,
office.
I will again.
Okay, you're making me nervous when you start saying things like,
No, I
oh,
was just, no, I'll go there.
Okay, so we're gonna do this one more time. You're gonna go straight to their office from
Straight to
here.
your offices.
You're gonna hand the reset notice you're gonna sign to them, and they're gonna make a copy of it. Yes?
Yes.
That's what I need. Okay, please step out into the hallway. That would be one. He's here with a pen and ready to roll. right, everybody, let's come back to order. Call the next case. Anthony Tyrone Wilson. All right, Mr. Wilson, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Anthony Tyrone Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, you are here today from 23 TK 4708. And according to my calendar, you are very, very early for court today because you're
Yes,
on the
sir.
1:30 calendar.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Wilson, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
You're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. You are charged with 1 count of operating a motor vehicle and failing to properly stop for a stop sign at Rehoboth and South McDowell Road. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find with your additional guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it exactly the way you negotiated.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Wilson, on 23 TK 4708, stop sign violation, I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 158 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to participate in our 30 by 30 program. And then if you pay your fine in full plus $30 in 30 days, your case will close with no probation
Yes,
conditions.
sir.
31 days from now, if your case is still open, your probation conditions will begin automatically, at which point you will, you may, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team
Yes, sir.
to have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products to be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 a month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes,
If
sir.
30 days from today, if you wish to appeal this decision, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, if you will walk with Mr. Taylor out those double doors and go meet with the sentence enforcement team.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Jeffrey Downey. All right, Mr. Downey, I think you were also very early for court, if I'm not mistaken. No,
Hey, you just did answer page 4.
this morning. Okay. All right, Mr. Downey, you're on 23 TK 2710. Were you on time for court today?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me. There, no? There it is. This attorney, the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written versions of the rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2? Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Downey, did you see on the document as well as hear me say that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial in your case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with one count of failure to maintain lane. Have you used a NOLO on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on June 13th of 2023 and results in this charge of failure to maintain lane?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I'll review the recommendation, and I will follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The sentence of the court, Mr. Downey, is as follows. 23 TK 2710, count 1, failure to maintain lane, NOLO, 12 months, 155 is your fine. You may work off your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program, where if you pay off your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation conditions. If you are successful in closing your case, if you're unsuccessful in closing your case, your probation will begin automatically 31 days from today, at which point you may be able to work off your fine with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, to have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. If you'll step out with Mr. Booth. All right, this one is actually for Judge Surrey. What's the name on that?
Thomas.
Thomas. Well, maybe it's not. I think. Oh, this is the guy with 2 cases. Thomas, Courtney Thomas. I just realized this thing. Okay. And if somebody wants to have Judge Esri step out, I only have one more plea. You do? Yeah, if you want to. I'm just saying if you wanted to. All right, Mr. Thomas, state your full name for me.
Courtney Leon Thomas.
All right, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Thomas, you are here today on 2 cases, 22 TK 4788 and 23 TK 5837. According to my calendar, you were on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom?
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
And did you understand them?
Oh, yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights, Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mr. Thomas, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Oh, yes, sir, I signed this for that document, sir.
Perfect. And did you do so, and did you recognize it when you were doing so as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, sir, they are.
That's all right. That was not intentional. It's just a normal conversation moment. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir, I did.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir, I did.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will also be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see if I understand what you're doing here. It looks like 23 TK 5837 is going to go, I'm going to dismiss count 2, and then you're going to go pay count 1, which is the seatbelt ticket.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to do that today before you leave.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense. Okay, so let me mark that one down. And I'm not going to keep that one up here. I'm just going to pass that one along. And I've just signed the dismissal on count 2. All right, so I'm gonna pass that one off to the bailiff, so they're gonna hold on to that one. And then you and I are gonna do this, finish this plea, on 22 TK 4788. Susan's trying to get attention. All right, is that correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, well, let's jump back into 22 TK 4788. You're charged with 1 count of driving without license, on your person. So you had a valid license, you just didn't have a valid piece of plastic in your pocket?
I think my license was suspended at the time, but I was not notified of the suspension. I'm not quite sure of the circumstances. I'm almost certain it was, but because of the tornado that we had last year, and I was told that all the cases were dismissed or something like that. But
That's fine. So I'll just do this, since we got it this way as a, driving, I'll just do it as driving without a license, but I won't require you to go. No, I can't do it that way. I know how to do this. Okay, here we go. All right, got it. All right, so, but you want to enter a guilty plea to driving without a license on your person?
yes, sir.
Great. All right, so I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. The sentence is as follows. Mr. Thomas, on 22 TK 4788, driving without a license on your person, which is 4529A. I'm gonna find you guilty. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to pay $30 plus $155 to close your case within the next 30 days. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you're unsuccessful in doing that within 30 days, the sentence enforcement team will discuss your case with you and figure out what the next steps are. Okay, that's it. All right, so you have a couple different things you need to do today. Before you leave the building, you need to go to clerk's office and make your payment. And then bring it back to you. It'll be great. So, all right, the bail's gonna take you to the clerk's office first, make your payment, get your receipt, and then you'll walk it back up to sentence enforcement.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Let's go with her.
All right, Hightower? All right, if you please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you can pull that mic down a little bit. Just take your full name for me.
Beyonce Deshawn, I'm sorry.
All right, Ms. Hightower, were you on time for court or were you running late today?
I was on time.
Okay, and did you hear the rights that read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Hightower, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County back on October 15th of 2023 and resulted in this failure to maintain lane charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that your request for NOLO is proper and I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and ending this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, sign tower on 23 TK 5301. Count 1, failure to maintain lane, no load, 12 months, 306 is your fine. Count 2 is dismissed. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. At which point you can pay your fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days and close your case with no probation. If you're unsuccessful, 31 days from now, your probation will begin automatically, at which point you may, if you wish, work off your time with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to the sentence enforcement team, have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, if you'll step out those double doors with Ms. Williams. And Ms. Williams, if you'll tell them that's the last case.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Emery, I'm sending you an unmute request. Are you there? All right, you there, Mr. Emery?
I'm here, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, your, looks like your conference with the solicitor's office was successful. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna send to the clerk a modification for your speed. And then you'll be able to go online and pay it as early as tomorrow. And is that what you wanna do in your case?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. Mr. Emery, on 24 TK 0022, let's give the clerk about 24 hours to get that changed in the system. You'll know it's changed when you go online and look at it for the payment module, and you'll see the different speed up there. And as soon as you see that, you're clear to pay it. Between here and there, though, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset your case for a trial calendar. And then once you pay it, it'll fall off that trial calendar. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right, so if you do not choose to pay it, you shall return to this courtroom on June 11th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Where do you live?
I live in South Florida.
Okay, just in case we get to that for some unforeseen reason, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you may report virtually for that court date, although I assume I won't see you there, but just in case. And then if you don't resolve your case on that, I'm required to let you know that your jury trial or your trial will be the week of June 24th at 9 a.m. If we need to reach you, we will call you. Give me your number. Give me a second. No, I did not write your number down. Y'all have it? Okay, they have your number. All right, do you understand this is the only notice you'll receive of these next court dates?
Yes, I understand.
You understand that if you choose not to pay it, that is perfectly acceptable, but then you must appear for these court dates.
I understand.
And that you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and if you wish, you may apply with the public defender's office.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, I'm just required to go through those things with you, that's all. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I do not.
And I'm just gonna put a little note on here that you are to pay online and be released.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You may remove yourself from the system.
And it's ready.
It's ready now. Oh, they actually said they just finished putting it in the system, so.